Jim Sewell here on a Thursday night as we get set for a big Friday night of high school football. Tomorrow night in the Pinelands, it's Legends Night, so make your plans to come on out and be a part of the action tomorrow night as the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets will be taking on the Pierce County Bears in a non-region game. Pierce County, it will be their season opener. Of course, the Jackets last week fell to Charlton County by a score of 20-14 in overtime, and so the Jackets will be ready to rebound next coming up tomorrow night, but a big tough opponent coming in, Pierce County Bears. They are a consensus number 4 team in Class AA, coming off of a state championship 2 years ago, a state semifinalist last year, and they return a lot of good players. So look for a big challenge for Coach Helton's Yellow Jackets tomorrow night in the Pinelands. Kickoff will be at 7:30. Pregame show will start at 7 o'clock on our live stream on our YouTube page where you're watching this coach's show right now, and also on our audio channel, Network One Sports. So be sure to find a way to listen in and check our Facebook page, and the school's Facebook page will also have links posted tomorrow to get you directly to our game tomorrow night. So make sure you plan. If you can't make it out to the Pinelands, make sure you find a way to get us online here with Yellow Jacket Sports. It's Legends Night, as we mentioned, so a lot of our former players will be coming back, and they will be introduced in pregame activities on Legends Night tomorrow night. So come on out and be a part of that. As we mentioned, the Jackets fell to Charlton County by a score of 20-14 in overtime last week, and it was a tough game. Jackets had a chance to win it at the end, but missed a field goal, and then Charlton County scored in the first overtime period to take the win. But let's look at some highlights from last week and the game against the Charlton County Indians. Clemens in motion, will get it to Coleman inside. He's going to be up close to first down, and he's going to should have it at the tight formation. Clemens going to get the handoff. He's got it seam near side. He's got the 45 to 44 and enough for first down. First and 10 Charlton. They got 2 backs, 2 receivers on the side. Run a little cross, run handoff inside to Willie, who actually way forward up to the 35-yard line. We hit him in the backfield and finally drop him for a loss. Two tight end set. Get it to Lily. Trying to come inside. We spot him up. Stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That was fourth down for the touchdown. Under pressure.
Good job.
Peyton
Laney.
Going deep downfield, and Jeff Davis intercepted at the 45-yard line.
Big play by number
10 to the right. Get the handoff. Coleman, he's in the end zone. Touchdown. Yellow Jackets, Gavin Coleman. Double wing set, Coleman pulled back. Coleman comes in motion. Back looking to throw. Wide open. Got a flag thrown though. Touchdown.
Jeff Davis High School would like to thank the following alumni sponsors for their support of Yellow Jacket Athletics: Sweet Teas, Flowers, Gifts, and Custom Framing, Laney Internal Medicine Group, Lumber City Drugs, Cotton Partners, The Bedroom Store, Hazelhurst Auto, Pig Out Barbecue, Southern Roots Salon, Stone's Machine Shop, Comfort Zone Heating and Air, Whitfield Breelove, South Georgia Dentistry, Coleman Tire and Auto, Mulvey Outdoors, Water Service Center, Ragland Timber, Pallet One, McPherson Manufacturing, Renaissance Bank, Family Healthcare Connections, Davis Farm and Garden, Theater of Hazelhurst, Jeff Davis County Farm Bureau, and Bridgeford Church of God.
EP American Footwear in Hazelhurst is proud to be a part of the Hazelhurst Jeff Davis community and are proud sponsors of all Jeff Davis County sports. If you're looking for a great job with a great company, they are hiring for all shifts. You can apply in person Monday through Friday 8 to 5 at 10 North Gill Street in Hazelhurst. Go Jackets from all the folks at EP American Footwear of Hazelhurst. Go Jackets!
At Jeff Davis Hospital in Hazelhurst, we are committed to building a healthy community. We use the latest technology, and our knowledgeable team members provide exceptional state-of-the-art care to our local community and surrounding areas. We provide a respectful understanding of care for our patients and their loved ones. For more information about Jeff Davis Hospital and the services we provide, call 912-375-7781 or visit us online at jeffdavishospital.org.
Welcome back to the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show. This is Jim Sewell here on a Thursday night as we're getting set for a big Friday night of Yellow Jacket football tomorrow night in the Pinelands. It's Legends Night, so make your plans to come out and be a part of all the action. Kickoff will be at 7:30. If you can't make it out to the game, we'll have all the action for you on our YouTube channel as well as on Network One Sports for the audio feed, and we'll start that off with the pregame beginning at 7 o'clock. So make your plans to either join us in person. There's nothing like being there in the stadium. Had a great crowd the last Friday night for the season opener against Charlton, and need another big crowd tomorrow night to have the guys cheer them on against a very tough opponent in the Pierce County Bears. Join me now is defensive coordinator Jay Cravey. Coach Cravey, welcome to the Coaches Show for 2022.
Thank you very much.
It's tough loss last week. I know it was heartbreaking for the guys, for you coaches. Kids, played hard throughout the night, had some things that went against us, a few mistakes that cost us, but, kind of took us back through that game last week a little bit.
Well, we just, there was nothing wrong with our effort. I mean, I felt like our effort was good most of the night. I did feel like we made some mistakes that cost us during the ball game, and a play here or a play there, it would have been a different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So, defensively, I felt like that you have 3 turnovers and which is what we strive for. I mean, every week we're looking for 3 is what we're looking for, and we got that. That was one of the goals we met, but gave way too much rushing yards. And a lot of that was we were in position to make plays and just didn't tackle real well. So
got a lot of young kids out there getting their first varsity experience out there on defense, so I know that presents a challenge, but there's times, as we talked about just before we went on there, somebody's got to step up and make a play.
Yeah, they do. And, as a coach, I've always heard that, it's our job to try to put them in a position to make a play, but we can't make it for them. And, if you can put them in a position and show them how to make the play, then that is what we're supposed to do. And as players, I mean, with a young team, you're going to have some growing, like you said, growing pains, but they're still learning. I mean, they're still learning how to play at the varsity level. So I mean, we're going through some of that, and Charlton County wasn't a bad football team. Now, I mean, they had some good athletes on that side of the field.
This week we got the Pierce County Bears coming in, another quality team, a state champion just 2 years ago. I think they were in the semifinals last year. They're dropping down from Class AAA back into AA where they were for many years. Another high-flying offense, more of a ground-based offense. But I tell you what, they've got a lot of athletes on that team.
They do. They're good up front. They'll come at you and lock hold of you, and then they've got the Bell kid that I think he committed to Georgia Tech, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he goes downhill really, really well, and we better tackle him. I mean, that's going to be a challenge for us to go through him and get hands on him and make plays. I mean, he's a good one.
Looking at some of the key players on defense, you got a couple of seniors there on that defensive line, Amari Mitchell, Ty Weaver. Both of those guys, defensive ends, kind of anchor each side of the line. Tell us a little bit about the senior leadership you're getting out of those guys, and Peyton Laney, another senior playing linebacker.
Sure. Amari and Strawberry is you know, this is third year starting. I mean, he started inside last year, and he's lost so much weight that we moved him out. But I mean, he has to make plays for us out there. We depend on him to make plays. And Ty, I mean, this is Ty's first year starting for us, but he did see some playing time last year, and we just expect him to keep getting better every week. And Laney, you know, Laney's been there a while, and you know, we moved him from outside to inside, and he's still learning that a little bit. But I mean, he's doing well. He's graded out well for 2 weeks, and anyway, I expect him to keep improving. And you know, other seniors, you got Landon Robertson, who is you know, kind of the heart and soul of what you want your football team to be.
He's a player.
He's just, you know, you always know that he's never gonna take a playoff. So you got him, and then you got Teddy Clements in the secondary that's senior. So I mean, we've got some seniors on that side of the ball. We do.
So it's they're having to lead some younger kids, sophomores, freshmen that are getting their first taste of varsity football on Friday night. So kind of take us a little bit through this leadership role that some of these guys are taking.
Well, they have to, and we talk about it all the time. And not only it's not about, you know, hollering and it's about showing them how to do it. You know, it's about demanding, you know, on really just demanding effort, and you know, you don't win with effort alone, but it sure does help, and help win a lot of them. But just demanding, you know, with the way we do things, you know, our brand of football, and what we pride ourselves on, and demanding that out of those guys, and you know, I think they're trying to do that. I do.
Well, a big task, as we talked about with the Pierce County Bears. You mentioned the Bell kid. They got a lot of other athletes over there. Another guy with a lot of speed and very elusive, that Jaquez White, number 2. You know, you don't lose anything when they swap from him, Bell, and bring Jaquez White in. They're look almost identical, a lot running the ball.
They do. I mean, the first play in the scrimmage that you know, the White kid ran it. I mean, he knocked his head on the goal post from 80, and you know, it really did look a lot like the Bell kid. I mean, they get back there, and you know, they have the 2 up backs there that they'll fill in the hole for the linebackers, and that back's deep enough where he picks his hole. I mean, when he you know, if it's not there, he might go a gap wider or a gap shorter, you know, if it's there, and it makes it hard. I mean, it does make it hard, because you got linebackers filling holes where those guys are coming from, and if one of your linemen, one of your D linemen gets sealed for just a second, it opens up that lane, and those guys can go. They can take it the distance.
All right, a big challenge tomorrow night. Need to have a big crowd out. We had a really good crowd last Friday night, in spite of the weather and the delays, and but it was season opener, and going to have Legends Night tomorrow night. Boy, just the crowd is like that 12th man, especially when you're trying to make a defensive stand.
It's so huge. I mean, to have that, you know, to be playing at home, and especially the way our fans are, you know, when you know, our fans are, you know, this is my third year here. There's no better fan base in Georgia. I mean, I really believe that. Our people love football, and they enjoy coming out on Fridays, and it's great to hear them holler, and we're going to need to hear them holler tomorrow night, that's for sure.
We definitely do, because that's a big challenge tomorrow night against the Pierce County Bears. That'll be a kickoff at 7:30 tomorrow night, but it's right here in the Pinelands, so no excuse not to be out and come out and support these guys. Coach, thank you for coming by and talking with us.
All right.
And we'll take a break here on the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show and be back after this word from our sponsors.
Make the switch to Mitch for all your over-the-counter and prescription medicine needs. Take advantage of their drive-up window, curbside, and delivery services. The health of you and your family is their priority. Make the switch to Mitch, located at 5 East Coffee Street in Hazelhurst, Monday through Friday from 9 to 6 and 9 to noon on Saturday. Give them a call at 912-699-3784 and make sure to follow them on Facebook.
Need salvage parts for your new or late model car or truck? Then you should call McCarty Auto Parts, where parts arrive daily, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, at their location at 118 Ottamaha Road in Hazelhurst. Check out their inventory online 24/7 at McCartyAuto.com. If they don't have the parts you need, they'll find it. Call McCarty Auto Parts in Hazelhurst for all your salvage part needs. 1-800-329-7258. Go Jackets!
Your eyes are your window to the world around you, and good vision is important to everyone. At Southern Eye Care, you can count on their expertise in treating all types of vision problems to help you see your best. From glasses to contact lenses, from surgical vision correction to treatment of eye disease and injury, their team is here to help take care of your eyes. Your vision matters at Southern Eye Care in Hazelhurst. Call them for an appointment at 912-375-2516 or visit them online at southernEyeCarePC.com.
Back here at the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show. This is Thursday night. We're getting set for a big Friday night of high school football coming up tomorrow night. We'll take on the Pierce County Bears in the Pinelands. Be a 7:30 kickoff. Hopefully, we don't have to deal with the weather again this week and get things started on time. If you can't make it out to the game, tune in here on our YouTube channel, or you can get our audio stream on Network One Sports. Be sure that you tune in there, and we'll be started around 7 o'clock with our pregame show if you can't make it out to the stadium. Join me now is Coach Tim Suttles, defensive tackles coach. Coach, thank you for coming and joining us.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
New to the staff this year?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
All right, sure. This is my 15th year coaching, and I come from Montgomery County. I've been there the last 14 years. I had a family member, my brother-in-law actually came in with Coach Helton and was on his staff when Coach Helton arrived. So I'm familiar with Jeff Davis. I was actually at the Saturday game when it was Coach Helton's first win against ATCO because y'all rained out on Friday night. I was actually at that game, and it seems like I've been over here several times when we had bye weeks. I was familiar with the Pinelands and with the culture here. And really, really pleased to be here. Just glad to be a part of the Jeff Davis family.
It's been a successful run Coach Helton's had. This is his 6th year going, and so he's rebuilt a program. I know there was a lot of years that Jeff Davis Montgomery County played off and on during that time, but it's one that I haven't met him in a while, but it's been right just across the river, so to speak.
Sure.
So, right, with guys we keep track of Montgomery County, all season long because they're one of our neighbors. Coaching defensive tackles coming in, you got your starters. You got a junior in Lewis Baker, real big physical kid, and Cade Carver, a younger guy, sophomore. Tell us a little bit about your tackles and how those involve some of the other guys that come in and see time.
Sure. Well, I've got a long list of names because we play a lot of guys at defensive tackle. Lewis Baker, or Pooh as I call him, he's our starting defensive tackle. A very fundamentally sound player, and really tries to be a technician and do things the right way, the way he's coached to do. He starts on the offensive line, so of course we try not to play him every single play on defense, but But you know, there's certain times in the game where he's just got to be on the field. Cade Carver starts at the nose tackle for us. He's a sophomore, bigger kid, stronger kid. Really, just a really good. He can take up a gap for sure. Does well with getting his hands on offensive linemen to keep them off of linebackers. So those two guys are our starters. But I'll be honest with you, Mr. Jim, we could name 2 different starters every week because they all play pretty much an equal amount. So we also have Ian McDaniel, who's a sophomore, who's a big player in the rotation, very athletic guy. Austin Daniel, who's a senior, who's had reps at linebacker, was moved down to use as a pass rush specialist, and that's where we use him. Mason White, another sophomore, is in the rotation and gets reps as well. So those are really the main guys that we use at our defensive tackle. And you know, for 2 spots, we play about 6 guys. So
right.
A lot of the guys get reps.
Well, that also helps you as you get later in the game in the fourth quarter. You know, these guys, you know, your starters are not worn down from, especially, you know, somebody like Baker who's going both ways.
Sure, yeah, that's right. And honestly, I failed to mention Will Crazy.
Will
who's
Crazy,
a senior.
yep.
He's a very good player. But you know, it does work to our advantage to be able to rotate guys and keep them fresh, because you know, when Coach Helton likes to put together a 14-play drive that eats up 9 minutes, I need to find somebody who wasn't a part of those 14 plays
Right.
to give us some time.
Those inside tackle positions, inside line positions, that's kind of the unsung heroes of the game. They have to get in there and do the dirty work inside.
Sure, that's what we ask of them. You know, normally a defensive tackle doesn't make as many tackles as a linebacker, so to speak. But oftentimes you know, the normal fan wouldn't notice that a defensive lineman is keeping an offensive lineman off of the linebacker so that they can run free to make a tackle. At least that's my hope, the way
Right.
I'm coaching them and the way they're playing on the field. But also, you know, in the game of high school football today, everybody likes to air it out a ton. Maybe not our opponents so much this week, but you know, teams don't mind putting it in there 20 times a game. So those guys really have to be pass rush specialists as well.
This challenge this week, you talked about Pierce County. They're more of a ground-based offense, but a couple of real dynamic running backs in DJ Bell and Jaquez White.
Yes, sir.
That all, you know, you got guys with size and speed. That presents a challenge to any defense.
Sure. I'll be honest with you, those 2 guys are electric, no doubt about it. They're very good players. They have great speed, very hard to tackle, and colleges have noticed that. So, I mean, you know, it's not like they're flying under the radar. People know that those 2 guys are really good players. To me, their offensive line is what really makes it go, and they honestly remind me a lot of Jeff Davis's offensive line. They're not extremely huge. Now, they may not be the size. They may not be equal size as us. They may be a little bigger than us, but they're just extremely fundamentally sound. And they do not mind coming off the ball flat and low and driving bigger guys off the ball. They do a good job, and those running backs just have great vision to be able to find the open hole. We have our work cut out for us for sure, and we've prepared really hard to make sure that we can be in the correct gaps and cut down on the running lanes, and we're hoping that we'll be able to slow those guys down tomorrow.
They kind of run a version of the single wing where Bell or White, one of the others, can take a direct snap, kind of a wildcat type offense. Tell us a little bit of the challenges of trying to scheme against an offense like that.
It's unique for sure. One thing that is different that they do than most high school teams are doing right now is their offensive line splits. They're really big compared to what you normally see on a week-to-week basis. And what happens is they spread your defensive linemen out so much that it allows those backs to, if the play is designed to go in A gap, and A gap shut down, well, there's another gap right beside it because they have three-foot splits. It is a unique offense, and with number 2, the White kid, when he takes a snap, you can bet that he's gonna run it. Bell adds another dimension as in he can throw it as well. And then, believe it or not, they have another quarterback that they don't mind bringing in that he can air it out, and he throws a really good ball. You know, so they really have the ability to run two offenses. They can run that single wing type offense where the ball carrier is taking the snap, which is not something you see very often in today's football. And then they can spread you out. So you've really got to be prepared for a versatile offense.
All right, a big game tomorrow night, Pierce County. Jackets have not fared very well against them. They've won the last 4 games in the series, but it's been a long rivalry with the Bears over the years, and you know, a lot of folks will still remember some of those games we played with them. So expect a big crowd tomorrow night, and that's going to something we really need to help these guys out.
Well, I can tell you, every time I've been to the Pinelands, whether it was last Friday or any other game, the crowd, the fan base, the support, just the community as a whole is unbelievable. That's really one of the things that makes this place special, and not just for football. I mean, as I'm coming in to meet with you, the softball game is just absolutely packed with people, and the rec department's overflowing with people at soccer practice right now. This community really is special on the buy-in that they have to support their young people.
Well, Coach, thank you for coming and talking with us tonight. Good to meet you.
Yes, sir.
And we'll look forward to a good game tomorrow night. We'll take a timeout, get some words from our sponsors. We'll be back after more words with our sponsors. Thank you.
Silas Worth Monument Company offers factory direct orders from memorial designs to remember your loved ones. They can create one-of-a-kind computer designs or traditional monuments. You can choose your remembrance in beautiful granite, marble, bronze, or cremation monuments. Call Victor Worth and his staff today at 912-375-4587 or visit their location at 353 Alma Highway in Hazelhurst. Also visit them online at silasworthmonument.com.
The Bank of Hazelhurst is Jeff Davis County's only locally owned and operated bank, serving their friends and family since 1906. They offer a wide array of services, including personal, commercial, and electronic banking services, along with mortgage and ag lending. For more information on the services they offer, call them at 912-375-4228. Download their banking app or contact them online at bankofhazelhurst.com. The Bank of Hazelhurst. When others have their branches, they have their roots.
Dr. Kurt Munsiak and his health care professionals at the Jeff Davis Walk-In Clinic care about their patients. The Jeff Davis Walk-In Clinic offers prompt health care for acute sicknesses and treatments for a wide range of non-emergency illnesses and injuries. To make an appointment, call 912-375-4884 or visit them at 22 Cross Street in Hazelhurst. Go Jackets and God bless from Dr. Kurt Munsiak and his team at the Jeff Davis Walk-In Clinic.
Back here at the Pinelands on a Thursday afternoon, getting ready for a big Friday night of high school football as the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets will be taking on the Pierce County Bears. And non-region action kickoff is set for 7:30 tomorrow night, and we'll have our pregame show on our live stream as well as our audio feed beginning at 7 o'clock. Make your plans to come out. It's going to be Legends Night, so need a big crowd out to support some of our returning legends as they will be honored in the pregame show. Take a moment here to kind of look back at and give you some of the stats from last week on Jeff Davis. Last week against Charlton County, Terrence Clemens led the rushing attack. He had 16 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. Gavin Coleman from his fullback position had 18 carries for 77 yards. He also had a touchdown. Peyton Laney chipped in with 6 carries for 31 yards. Quarterback Colby Beach completed 1 pass out of 5 attempts for 31 yards. That was a big pass right at the end of the game that got us down in position to attempt a field goal. Making the reception on that 1 pass was for 31 yards was Peyton Laney. Defensively, Terrence Clemens led the way with 11 tackles. Peyton Laney and Robertson both had 7 each. And the Jackets picked off 2 Indian passes. MJ Hankerson and Elijah Phillips each coming up with an interception. Ty Weaver recovered a fumble. Peyton Laney had 2 sacks. Weaver, Robertson, McDaniel, Mitchell, and Cravey all had a tackle for loss. So there are some of your stats from last week. As the Jackets unfortunately were not able to pull out the win. They fell in overtime to Charlton County. Again, Pierce County coming in there consensus number 4 team in Class AA in the state rankings. Jeff Davis is unranked coming into tomorrow night's play. Some of the other games around our area that we'll be following tomorrow night: Appleton County is at home against Aiken, South Carolina. Berrien County is at Atkinson County. Coffee County travels over to Bainbridge to take on the Bearcats. The Cook Hornets will be stepping up in class, and a big challenge is they'll be traveling to Valdosta to take on the Valdosta Wildcats. Screven County heads down to Alma to take on the Bacon County Red Raiders. Swainsboro, the Jackets' next opponent, will be at Washington County in a big rivalry game between those two. Turner County will be at Fitzgerald. Dodge County plays host to West Lawrence. Sumter County is hosting Westover High School out of Albany. Wheeler County will travel to Toombs County, and Worth County, the Rams, will head down south to Mitchell County. And those are other games here around our area of the state. We'll be tracking those scores tomorrow night on the McCarty Auto Parts scoreboard. So be sure to tune in, and we'll keep you up to date with scores from around the area. The Class AA consensus poll, out of 6 polls throughout the state, Eagles Landing Christian remains the number 1 team in the state, but this year they are in a tie with Fitzgerald for number 1. Appleton County checks in at number 3, Pierce County at 4, Callaway 5, Rockmart 6, South Atlanta is at number 7. Thompson is the number 8 team. At number 9 is Putnam County. Fellowship Christian is at number 10. 11 is Washington County. Then you've got a tie for 12th between Columbia and Northeast. Dodge County, one of our region mates, is at number 14. Worth County, also in our region, number 15. And Athens Academy rounds out the poll at number 16. We're going to take a time out here, get some words from our sponsors. We'll be back with head coach Lance Helton after this break on the Jeff Davis Coaches Show.
Experience a better way to bank at Interstate Credit Union in Hazelhurst, where they offer a wide variety of loans. Interstate Credit Union is second to none when it comes to low rates and great customer service, specializing in personal loans, new home and construction loans, and automobile loans, as well as many other types. Their broad services include personal checking, savings, business, in-person, online, and mobile banking, and much, much more. Visit them at 14 Hinton Street, or call 912-375-0640, or you can contact them online at interstatecu.org.
Make tailgating easy and delicious with help from Three Rivers Meat Company in Hazelhurst. Three Rivers Meat Company offers specialty cuts of beef, pork, chicken, and seafood. They also have several types of the in-house made fresh sausage. If you need a grill, they're the exclusive dealer for Traeger grills in Hazelhurst. To place your order in advance, call 912-551-9621 or visit their beautiful meat counter at 90 West Coffee Street. Go Jackets from Derek Wooten and the meat professionals at Three Rivers Meat Company in Hazelhurst.
Since their founding in 1968, the Beasley Group has become a vertically integrated leader in the forest products industry, and this growth has made them the largest hardwood sawmill in the United States and North America's foremost producer of crane mats and timbers for the energy transmission, utility, and construction industries. The Beasley Group is proud to be members of the Hazelhurst and Jeff Davis County community. They are also proud supporters of all Jeff Davis High School sports. Go Jackets from the Beasley Group.
Welcome back to the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show on a Thursday night as we're getting set for a big, big night of high school football in the Pinelands. The Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets taking on the Pierce County Bears. 7:30 for the kickoff. It's going to be Legends Night. So come out and support the team and support these Yellow Jacket legends as they return back to the Pinelands tomorrow night. Jackets coming off of a loss, heartbreaker last week to Charlton County as the Jackets fell 20-14 in overtime. So we're looking to bounce back, but a big, tall task coming in as Pierce County a state champion just 2 years ago, state semifinalist last year, and moving down from Class AAA. Coach Lance Helton joins us now. Coach, tell us a little, before we get into Pierce County, let's look back a little bit at Charlton County. I know you might not want to, but
Yeah.
I thought we had great effort. We made some mistakes, which is, a young team's going to happen, but we were in the fight all the way to the end.
Absolutely. Jim, it was a really good test against a really athletic Charlton County team. You're talking about, numerous Division I athletes across the field. That back, number 2, Lily, I think is as good of a back as any back in any classification in the state that's going to the Air Force Academy. The big DN with the Georgia offer is an extremely athletic player, and I thought that the quarterback really was a dual threat, could beat you with his arm and could scatter around and do some things with the ball in his hands once the pocket broke down. So they were a really good football team, and I thought that we came out with an intensity that was ready to go compete to win the game. The truth of the matter is, Jim, we didn't play great. I mean, we put the ball on the ground 7 times, lost 4 of those, had some penalties that were just major issues throughout the night. There were 3 different scoring plays where we got penalized, so we've got to clean some of that stuff up. You can't beat, you can't beat an 8U team doing those things.
Right.
And with the schedule we have, we've got to kind of fix ourselves in these things. Now, let's talk about the positives. The positives of last Friday night are there were 4 guys that have played in a varsity game on our football team that played. The other 18 per se, that was their first experience. And not only did they get to go against a traditional power in the state of Georgia, they competed against them, led for the duration of the game, and it hurt them that it slipped away.
Yep.
This wasn't a moral victory where our kids were just excited that they got to play Charlton County close. They were upset that they lost the game, so we had to focus on those things. Another positive for us, Jim, in that evening was, our region tiebreak is going to go into overtime wins. And so for us to have an overtime experience, there wasn't a single kid on our team that had an overtime experience. Because the last time we played an overtime game was 2018 against Windsor Forest at home. So there were some things that we got to cover and go over, and some really good teaching tape that we got to fix. And I think that's why the schedule that we put together matters so much, is because you've got to get your stuff fixed against good people. And this will pay off for us in the end once we get these mistakes corrected and we put our best foot forward and win a football game.
It was, a thrilling game from the fan standpoint, that we drove the field late in the game, put up a long, time-consuming drive, got down there on the big pass of one of the few, the only pass we completed of the night, big pass to Peyton Laney down there, Colby Beach, had him wide open and hit him and got us into field goal position, and the kick was right there, but it just glanced off the upright. That's a heartbreaker there, but to compete with as young a team as we had, and to fight against a veteran team like Charlton County, a team that's rapidly back on the rise again, that bodes well for these the young guys grew up a lot last Friday night.
Well, they did. We had to distinguish that playing hard and playing with energy is our standard. But playing hard and playing with energy alone doesn't constitute a win. You've got to execute, Jim.
Right.
When you're playing with the type of energy we demand, when you execute at a high level with that type of energy, you can be an extremely good football team. For me, this week is about continuing to fix our issues. It's about us. We've got to fix ourselves and put ourselves in a position to win football games. And I think our kids have continued to buy into that, and they're continuing to take a workman's-like approach to getting better every single day. And I'm excited to see what that can hold tomorrow for us.
Well, you've had a week of practice. Tell us how it's gone and how things have worked out this week.
A lot of emotions this week, Jim. We started off the week and didn't necessarily have a great day, but we corrected it. We addressed it. We stood on the table about what our demands were. And I thought throughout the week we continued to get better. We're still having to spend too much time early in practice to get our kids knocked out of the fourth block haze per se, where that things are kind of just foggy for them. It's been a long day, and we've got to attack the practice field better from the jump. But after we addressed it each day, our kids really responded well, and I thought we had our best Thursday practice of the season thus far today. So, I think our kids are continuing to mature. They're not only just continuing to learn how to be good football players, they're learning how to play the game. They're still learning situational football. They're still learning how to practice. And so it's really refreshing for me as a coach and as a teacher to get to teach those things. But we still have to sharpen our sword and stop making the continued and repeated mistakes daily. Let's move on to correcting something new. And once we do that, we can really see growth in this football team.
Well, Coach, it's going to be a big game tomorrow night against Pierce County in the Pinelands. We're going to take a break, get some words from our sponsors. We'll be back and talk more about Pierce County after this word from our sponsors.
C&H Creative Flooring can make your floors beautiful. They are this area's foremost experts when it comes to concrete grinding, polishing, crack repair, and epoxy coatings. They offer hundreds of color epoxy flake systems to choose from, custom metallics, neat coats, inlaid emblems, and much more. Whether it's your home, garage, man cave, pool deck, sidewalks, porches, or carport, let us help you make it gorgeous, safe, colorful, and skid resistant. Call Daryl Hutto at 912-381-9037 or Cody Carter at 912-592-5493 or message them on Facebook.
Williams Brothers Trucking is now hiring qualified CDL Class A licensed drivers with at least 2 years over-the-road tractor-trailer experience.
Williams Brothers Trucking has an excellent benefits package. They have quarterly bonuses. They have great insurance.
They offer flexibility as far as your work schedule. You're not really pressured into starting at any certain time throughout the day.
Be home every day with family-owned and operated Williams Brothers Trucking. Apply now online.
Go Jackets!
Make the switch to Mitch, not only for your prescription needs, but also for your gift needs. Visit Designs and More by Brandy, located inside Mitch's Pharmacy. Brandy offers all occasion flowers, silk, and fresh. Shop Designs and More by Brandy for gift baskets for that special someone, shoes by Corky, and jacket t-shirts for the entire family. Located at 5 East Coffee Street in Hazelhurst, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday and 9 to 12 on Saturday. Give them a call at 912-699-3784 and follow them on Facebook.
Back here on the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show as we're getting set for Pierce County Bears to come into the Pinelands tomorrow night. Kickoff is at 7:30, and we'll be on the air with our pregame show beginning at 7 o'clock. And Coach, Legends Night tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Always a big time when you get some of the Yellow Jacket legends back in the Pinelands. So tell us a little bit about Legends Night.
We started this tradition about 5 years ago. It was my first year here, 6 years ago now. And it's one night a year. We just want to be able to thank and recognize and admire every former Jeff Davis Yellow Jacket football player that has played here from the 1950s up until the 2021 graduates. And those that are in attendance are going to be asked to come down. We'll give them a moment and recognize them. And I think it just does a lot for our community to bring everybody together and to get our kids around the Jeff Davis Yellow Jacket football pride that was here when I stepped on this campus 6 years ago. And this night means a lot to me because the guys that feel about high school football the way that I do, it means a lot to them. And Legends Night is always a night that we have a great crowd. We always try our best to honor those former players the best way we can, and they in turn do a great job of cheering our guys on. So I'm really excited about tomorrow, Jim. It's a meaningful night for me, and ready to see what happens once those former legends get on the field and they step on the grounds of the Pinelands again. The chills run down their spine, and I think it has got a chance to be a great night.
I know I've probably told you this before, but my son, when he comes home and some of his football buddies, they gather up at the house and they start swapping war stories. I mean, you could just see that they still got that intensity in them from years ago.
Absolutely.
All right, Pierce County, tough challenge, a state champion 2 years ago, state semifinalist last year, moving down from Class AAA, a team that has a great run of success here recently. Coach Herring there, he's in his 4th year, 35-5. I'll tell you all you need to know about Coach Herring to put together record like that, this will be their season opener, so you know they're going to come out ready to make a big impression.
Sure. You know, I've known Coach Herring for a while, and if I could say one thing about him, he's a ball coaching Jesse. He worked with Coach Holmes at Dublin in the early 2000s, went over and was the head coach at Oxford High School in Alabama for many years, and is now here in Blackshear just doing a tremendous job. And he's a hard-nosed football coach, a guy that's fundamentally sound, a guy that does his homework. He's a football junkie, and it's always fun to watch guys like that work, and it's exciting to get to go compete against first class, top-notch coaches and programs. And I can't say enough good things about Coach Herring and the job he's done there and the way he's elevated that program from when he took it over to where it is now.
You know, the Jackets and the Bears have met over 30 times in the history, but have not faced each other since 2009. So there was a pretty good rivalry there for several years as we were in the same region with them. And it's good. It's going to be good to see Pierce County back on our schedule. And although they're bringing a mighty tough team in.
They are. They're a good football team. They're ranked number 4 in our classification for a reason.
That's right. So dynamic offense. I know that they got a couple of running backs. They run kind of a version of the single wing, wildcat formation, or whatever you want to call it. Number 1 and number 2, boy, those two guys can light it up.
They can. They've got some horses, and I tell you what is impressive to me is to watch their offensive line play. Man, they get after you. They do a great job of holding you and being nasty and physical, and they let their skill guys run, and that's what great football teams do, in my opinion. And defensively, they're extremely aggressive. They lead with their hat. They're going to put their hat on the football, and they really strike you. I mean, they're a well-coached football team, and they're built with really good football players. So once again, Jim, we've got a mighty tall task, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to correct mistakes and see where we can go line up and hold our own against the best in the state.
Terrence Clemens turned out to be the workhorse.
Sure. Last
week, he clocked in for over 100 yards and a touchdown. Gavin Coleman also with a lot of carries. He's not your typical fullback, but boy, he gets down low and runs hard.
Sure, he is tougher than woodpecker lisp, and he's knee-high to a grasshopper. You know what I mean? So he can kind of hide in those cracks and crevices and scoot those little traps up in there and do what he does. And then we can get some of our bigger body fullbacks in and do what we like to do with them. But I think our fullback tandem in general has been really good to us thus far this year. Terrence is continuing to be a bell cow for us with the ball in his hand, and turns around and is the heartbeat of our secondary on defense. And him and Peyton Laney at that Z-back, that big blocking wing and the counter wing have done a good job for us throughout summer camp and throughout our first 2 opportunities to play the game, just leading us and taking a youthful football team and giving us a veteran presence.
Tell us a little bit about your offensive line. I thought you only had 1 starter returning, and against a big physical defense last week against Charlton. These young guys, we rushed for a ton of yards and drove up and down the field on those guys. So tell us about your offensive line and how they work.
Well, I'll tell you, I love our offensive line so much. Coach Lawson and I have coached these guys together for many years now. Coach Lawson coaching our tackles and tight ends, myself coaching our centers and guards. And at tight end position for us right now is a junior, Wesley Brown, who's a converted wide receiver. He's done a great job buying in. He's got some growing he can do. He needs to learn how to play with a little bit better pad level. He needs to be able to run his feet through the hips of defenders and do certain things. But I can only praise his effort and the mindset he's come into this season with. We've got a 3-tackle rotation right now with our only returning starter, Will Cravey, the senior, and the junior, Lewis Pooh Bear Baker, and the big sophomore, Cade Carver. Those guys really pushed each other and continuing to work through some growing pains and a lack of experience. But, man, I've been really proud of them. Coach Law's getting the most out of those guys, and he does a great job with them. Our internal 3 I've got a 3-guard rotation like I normally love to play with. I like to have 3 guards, and those guys are Lane Powell, Brian Reyes, and Austin Daniel. Lane and Austin are seniors who've not taken a lot of varsity snaps for us, but have really stepped up in this opportunity and gave it the best that they had. And Brian is a junior who, I tell you what, man, is the heartbeat of our football team. He's an undersized guy that gives it his all. He's nasty. He will strike. He plays with great pad level. And I couldn't say enough good things about that guard group and the love I have for him at center. Right now is junior Trey Ray, who is just kind of a born and bred Yellow Jacket. That's what he wants to be. It's always what he wanted to be. And, you know, he gets the most out of his ability. And, you know, we are a tight-knit group. I watch film with those guys 2-3 times a week in the mornings. I love them, and we know the tall task at hand. You know, we're a little bit undersized, so we got to execute with great pad level and great effort and great nastiness. Mm-hmm. And those kids are bought into it, and they're fun to coach. I mean, I love them when they strike, and I love to coach football because of the wing T guards, and there's not a group of kids I'd rather be coaching than them.
Last week we saw a little bit new wrinkle in there where we spent our time standing in the huddle, sprinted to the line, and got off a quick snap. It seemed to throw Charlton off a little bit and helped us to maintain tempo where we kept their offense on the sideline.
You know, I think that the football in general, you got to find a way to give yourself an edge. And I really like what we're doing there with some of our tempo stuff. We want to keep the defense on their heels the best way we know how. We want to continue to have a physical edge, and we want to run the ball downhill. And I think that the way we slow the game down at times, you know, can be boring to fans, and fans can get frustrated and this, that, and the other, but it keeps us in ball games and gives us a chance to win them. And we've still got to fix some things. I didn't love our tempo at times. I thought we were here too slow. I thought that we didn't utilize our off time in between plays effectively. But you know, it's always something. You may not even see that this week, Jim. You don't ever know. With us, it's about keeping the defense on their heels, and our kids have really bought into that identity. And I've been really proud of how they sold out to doing what it takes to keep Jeff Davis with a position to win a football game late.
One of the guys you mentioned Monday night that on the Bears defense is tackle number 52, Henry Pegler, who was, you said he's one of their better players, and he's a guy that you're going to have to count for to get this running game going.
Yeah, I would say that 52 is a bad man. You know, he's a good high school football player along with number 11, number 5, number 18, number 75, number 35, number 12, number 2, number 8. I mean, all 11 of them play the game the right way. I love watching them play defense. But you're right. I think that this football team in Pierce County has some legitimate defensive weapons that we've got to account for, and we've got to do some things to help ourselves in that area. But once again, it's about our kids finding themselves and growing against the best in the state. And for us, if we can continue to do that and we can continue to improve against the very best in the state these next few weeks, I'm excited to see where we can be when we hit that midseason stretch of region games. And we've just got to keep the main thing the main thing. It's a great football team. But at the end of the day, if we don't play well and we don't fix things, it's not going to matter. And that's what this football team has got to keep its eye on, and they've done a great job of that thus far, Jim.
I had a really good crowd that sat through all the lightning and the rain and the weather challenges last week. Need an even bigger, better crowd this week as the challenge just continues to grow, and we talk about what a challenge it is and renewing an old rivalry. So, you know, it's got to be a big night.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I think that any time you get to play a high school football game at home, it's a big night. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, after tomorrow night, we've got 3 opportunities to do that left. Tomorrow night is an extremely meaningful game because it's one of 5 opportunities to go celebrate our town, to have a great crowd, to go love up former football players, and to go love up the 2022 Jeff Davis Yellow Jacket football team. High school football is meaningful, but home high school football is extremely meaningful. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we need a great crowd tomorrow night. This is a great Southeast Georgia rivalry against a really good football team. And I'm excited for high school football to be back at the forefront of our state and our country, and to just show everybody in the state what high school football means within the Pinelands and within Jeff Davis County.
Legends Night, as we talked about, so we're going to have a little pregame ceremony. So get there early and come on out. The weather should hold off and be able to get some tailgating in.
Absolutely. I think that I would love to see that tailgating get another shot in the arm like it was. I hate to say back in the day, Jim, but you know, right when we got here. When my beard was short and I didn't have that many grays in it. But now, if things have changed, and our tailgating scene has too. So I would love to see that thing get back rejuvenated. And I, more than anything, I just want to give our kids the opportunity they deserve to play high school football in a meaningful venue with a town behind them. And we're going to continue to work on ourselves to get ourselves better to make this town, this community proud of this football team.
7:30 kickoff tomorrow night. Jackets trying to bounce back from a tough loss last week against Charlton County. So make your plans to come on out and be a big part of it. Coach, just pump the crowd up. Get them here.
Well, you know what? I know last week stung. Shoot, it stung me. It stung our kids. But we've got to continue to move forward. We understand the task at hand and what we're trying to accomplish, and we need your support to do that. These kids have worked their tail off. And they deserve that great crowd behind them when they put on that navy blue helmet with that gold interlock JD that we all care for so much. High school football in the Pinelands is special. And when that music cuts on at 3 o'clock tomorrow and those flags start flying in the morning, it just signifies that there's a great opportunity for football within Jeff Davis County. Guys, I urge each and every one of you to come out, grab a football player, grab a band member, grab a cheerleader, tell them you love them, tell them you appreciate them, and let's support them the best way we know how tomorrow when we go play a very good Pierce County Bear football team at 7:30 in the Pinelands.
Coach, that sounds like a way to wind this thing up. It's a great night tomorrow night, 7:30 kickoff. We'll be on there at 7 o'clock if you can't make it out to the Pinelands, but I sure expect to see everybody there tomorrow night. Coach?
Hey, I appreciate you, Jim, for everything. You, Mr. Riles, those guys in there that do what they do. When you're wearing Navy, baby, you're as good as gold. Thank you, Jim.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
That'll wind us up here on the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show. Be sure to join us tomorrow night. Kickoff at 7:30 in the Pinelands. That'll do it here tonight. Good night, everybody.
At Altamaha Bank and Trust, we strive to help you live your best life. That means offering loans for nearly any dream or goal. With competitive rates, local processing, and quick decisions, we can customize a loan to fit your needs. This is Misty Boatwright, Relationship Manager at the Hazelhurst Branch. Come see me today at 57 North Tallahassee Street or visit our website at altamahall.bank. And let's work together to achieve your financial goals. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.